This video is going to look at computation in research methods. So when we're talking about computation, we're looking at how to work things out. So we're looking at decimals, fractions, ratios, percentages, standard form, how to estimate results, significant figures as well. So when we're talking about decimals, we're talking about any number that's written with a decimal point. So 25.0. That 2 there represents 2 tens. Or 213.0. That 2 represents 2 hundredths. When we're looking at fractions, 0.12 can also be seen as a fraction. It can be seen as 12 out of 100. And with fractions, you always reduce them to a simpler form by finding a number that you can divide into the top and bottom number. So 12 out of 100, 4 goes into 12 and into 100. So we'd simplify that down to 3 over 25. Now ratios tell us how much of one thing there is compared to another. So in the little image below, there's 3 orange circles compared to 2 blue, so we could express it as 3 to 2. With percentages, again, these are all fractions out of 100. So 12% simply means 12 out of 100. Now standard form is something that you may not have come across before, and this is a way of writing down really large numbers or really small numbers quite easily. So if we look at this long number here, we've got 325 and we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 zeros afterwards. So the first rule is we always try and change the number to a value between 1 and 10. So for here, we might write it as 3.25 because that's the first numbers here, and 17 tens because we've got these 15 here, 16, 17 with the 2 and the 5 as well. So we could write that as 3.25 times 10 to the power of 17. It's just a standard form way of writing that number. With significant figures, you can round large numbers up to the nearest 10, 100 or 1,000. So if it gave you this number in the exam, 216,592, and wanted you to write it to 2 significant figures, you would go to 220,000. Now it's not 210 because we're above halfway to that 220,000. So we try and use those first 2 numbers if it asks you to write it to 2 significant figures. Sometimes it might ask you to estimate results. And with large numbers, it can sometimes be quicker to do a quick rough calculation. So if it asks you to do 526 times 189, just use one significant figure. You might do 500 times 200. So it might ask you to do that in some of your exams.